Chris Corner, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure too. So you've worked on yourself for this album, chasing a little bit your demons, which reflect a lot in your music. How are you now? In which state of mind are you living this comeback and this tour?
I'm very good. The album was a kind of rebirth for me. And I went through a period of depression and chronic insomnia and a pretty dark time. I worked on myself for a long time. I got some professional help. I had a lot of therapy, a lot of rest. I changed my location and slowly rebuilt my relationship with my own creativity, because for a time I really felt that music was my enemy, and that it was hurting me, that it was psychologically too powerful for me.
A little bit overwhelmed of everything.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get into a clinical depression. Is everything is difficult to navigate, and after a period of I guess mental repair, I decided to make the album. So the album was actually a very stress-free, relaxed process, because most of the work, the head work, had been done. And in the past, each album that I would make was very, very emotionally turbulent and not always difficult, but it was definitely not comfortable, and this one was actually the first time that I felt quite comfortable making the album, because I knew exactly what I needed to say and what I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about the issues that I'd been through, that many people go through, and I wanted to put that into my music very specifically, and help me, but also try and help others to repair themselves.
Exactly, because you have a lot of people who listen to you, listen to your music and your lyrics, who are really important and meaningful for them. So maybe to help also you and them in the same way.
Yeah. I mean that's what. When you go through that kind of experience, you strip everything down and you ask yourself, well, okay, what is it? What do I want in life? Why do I want to be alive? Why do I make music?
What's the point? Yeah.
What's the point? And there are many existential questions that you feel you have to answer, and some of them you can answer, some of them you can't answer. One big thing that kept coming up for me was that I really wanted to help people, and I hadn't really thought about my life in that way before. It was very much just creative chaos,
yeah.
And this was the first time that I realized, oh, actually, I do want to help people,
yeah.
and if that nourishes me, then it's something that we can both benefit from.
Exactly. So it's also really important. In your music and in a musical perspective, your new record, Metanoia, is definitely has a kiss and swallow vibe. Something a little bit back to the roots, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Was that on purpose for you?
I think it was a conscious decision for me to simplify the way that I was making music. And when I did Kiss and Swallow, it was very DIY. It was just me in a bedroom with one computer. And I felt that I would go back to the essence of the project and do it in the same way. it was a little bit easier because I didn't have to do any complicated recordings and collaborations with people, which I had explored on the previous albums. But with this one, I wanted to simplify it, make it a bit more purely electronic, and that's basically what IAMX began as. So going back to the roots seemed like a natural thing for me to do.
Like a reborn and then come back.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think you give also more attention and more importance on your vocals, where you push it, your voice into a shredding point. Is this how you want to define this specific approach of this new album?
Yeah, I thought, well, most of the expression, or most of the organic expression would come from the voice. So, and it was like I really wanted to, not just with the lyrics, but with the tone, express or tell the story of what happened to me, and in the way that I was singing, I also wanted to not just sing the lyric, but give the feeling of what that was at that time. So there was a song called Insomnia, which I wanted to express in a very dynamic and almost uncomfortable way at times, where you can be very, very relaxed, or you can be almost on the point of crazy, and that was something that I did consciously want to do. And each album I make, I like to experiment with pushing my voice, even though when it comes to live, it's actually quite difficult.
Yes.
I never think about that. It's a bit stupid, really, because I make the album and I think, when I get to playing live, it's like, oh my God,
why?
How do I sing this? So sometimes it's difficult later, but for the actual recording, I do like to push it and explore my voice
even more. And this is not only for you, but for all the artists and for the music in general. If you want really to be a musician and to explore this world as a musician and to be creative, and so you think for nowadays music can be a catharsis for the people who want really to do some music.
You mean the people that make music? Is it cathartic?
Music is a cathartic, yes.
It is.
If you really want to reach the point, high point.
Yeah, and it really depends on how you see creativity. And if you just want to make money and be famous, then that's not going to be nourishing and rewarding.
Exactly.
It helps to be able to survive, of course, because we want to survive. It is a job, not a job, but it's something that you want to completely devote yourself to.
Exactly.
And the only way you can do that is to not have a real job. So, well, another job. It is a real job. But it's a choice, and you have to make that choice at some point. You have to decide, okay, do I want to explore my creativity, or do I just want to follow a formula? Do I want to follow other people? Do I want to listen to that and I want to make music like them? Or do I want to explore my own mind? And I chose to not really listen to anything else, and
to do your thing
and to just do my own thing. And I don't really care about being cool or whatever those. I don't like hype. I don't really like the music industry in general. So for me, it's really just a project of self-exploration, and it's in that sense it's very, very fulfilling and very rewarding. But I can also I'm very, very lucky that I can also be supported by many great people, and I just feel very privileged for that. And sometimes it's difficult because art is difficult. It takes the mind to dark places sometimes. But life is hard
It's not so
sometimes for
difficult.
everybody. It's not just the artist.
Exactly. And the last question, what do you want to say to your fan about your coming back and this new album? What do you expect, their point of view?
I've had so much support from people. It's quite phenomenal, and particularly when I talked about the illness that I had, and I was actually quite scared to talk about it, because you kind of think, well, okay, do people want to hear that stuff? And I was very, very surprised that everybody did want to hear that stuff, and they've supported me since with that. So really, I'm in such a great position with my fans that I don't expect anything more from them. They come to the shows and
to enjoy.
Just to enjoy. I want them to lose themselves in the music.
Yeah.
To be able to escape, as I do when I make it, and when I'm on stage, I also get that opportunity too. So if they come to the shows, then all I ask of them is to completely let go and
don't
to
think about it.
Don't think and just enjoy
and go. Okay. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
And have a nice show, and see you tonight for the gig.
Very short and sweet.
Cheers.